Hello, I'm Jeff Thompson, President and CEO of IMA, the Institute of Management Accountants, and welcome to Unit 8, Recommendations in our course, Improving Confidence in Sustainability Information. So what have we covered so far? We've covered the call to action, we've covered the COSO internal controls framework and its 5 components and 17 principles, and then we've demonstrated at a high level using several case studies how COSO internal controls framework, the 5 components and the 17 principles, not only applies to assuring financial information, but also increasing confidence in non-financial or sustainability information. So Unit 8 are recommendations and a wrap-up to the course. So in this overview of recommendations, we're going to recognize and talk about the benefits of integrating internal controls over sustainability reporting with what we do for financial reporting. That's where the integration and the leveraging comes into play. We're going to describe the consideration to achieving both internal and external benefits of assuring sustainability information. And assuring, of course, just means improving the trustworthiness, improving the confidence, improving the credibility of sustainability information used for both internal decision-making purposes and external decision-making purposes by investors and data intermediaries. And then finally, we're going to define and discuss specific recommendations for integrating internal control over sustainability reporting. So let's summarize some of the benefits here. First, if we are able to better assure non-financial information through various assurance methods and application of the COSO internal controls framework, we certainly will have enhanced data quality. So business is comprehensive. We need a comprehensive balanced scorecard, but we must have confidence in the data that we're sourcing, reporting, analyzing, and delivering. Better informed decision making, not just for the purposes of decision makers in the investor community, but also internal operations, internal supply chain, better decision making. You know, it's relatively easy to develop a strategy, but in today's day and age, competitive environment, hyper competition, geopolitical risk, digital disruption, it's getting harder and harder to actually execute or implement the strategy. Enhanced understanding of material risks that impact the organization's achievement of objectives. Those are not just going to be financial reporting risks. They could also be natural resource risks. They could be talent management risks, not being able to source and secure the right talent for your organization as it grows. Strengthen the ability to support objectives and compliance activities. And overall, greater market efficiency. You know, if we do this right, of course, it'll have an impact on the capital markets and your ultimate societal purpose. So, very important to follow the COSO framework and methodology, which basically is to determine objectives, identify and assess risks, identify control activities, and evaluate effectiveness through information communication and monitoring. The point is that everything I just described applies to both financial and non-financial information. So, what are some of the external benefits and what are some of the internal benefits, just to expand a little bit more? Integration usually results in better outcomes, more efficiency, leveraging of existing resources like the finance team, like the audit team, like the internal controls team. Now, it's not as simple as saying just add on to your responsibility internal controls design and assurance for sustainability information, but what better resource to leverage than those that are already expert in doing the internal controls design and assurance for financial information. Establishing policies, communicating ownership, establishing confidence. This is all part of achieving external benefits. And then internal benefits are your corporate governance that is more reflective of the business environment, which deals with both financial and sustainability information, the ability to leverage technology to protect, enhance, and grow your reputation, and aligning incentives. As I said earlier, people are motivated for different reasons. Certainly pay and profit is very important, but increasingly And especially for millennials, they're driven by a sense of purpose, a sense of giving, a sense of making a difference in the world. And that's why sustainability information and measuring and assuring it, increasing its confidence, is so important. So, as you know, in the thought paper that I co-authored with Brad Monterio, an expert in this field, as well as Bob Herz, the former chairman of the FASB, we had about 8 mini case studies, many of which we've referred to in this course. Starting early, we've called this a nascent practice of sustainability reporting. It's still immature. There's a lot more to be done. There's still a lot of voluntary reporting, which is fine, but investors are expecting much, much more as it relates to sustainability risk and sustainability performance. So, cultivate a culture of accountability, tone at the top, the role of the board of directors. The board of directors asking for material and decision useful sustainability information on innovation, on talent management, on our ability to protect the privacy of our customers or members, et cetera, et cetera. Leverage existing expertise. Again, the CFO team, the controller's team, doesn't have to own the entire process of assuring sustainability information, but they sure should be drivers because they're expert in it, they've got the skill sets, and they have responsibility for measuring enterprise performance, not just financial performance. So that leveraging of expertise, technology, and platforms, whether it's your ERP or your CRM, the less you can, or the more you can minimize duplicative or redundant systems for sustainability data, the more integration, the greater efficiency, the greater effectiveness. Cross-functional team, critically important. When you think about all that touch sustainability information in a large corporation, could be the CEO, could be the CFO, it could also include product groups, it could include investor relations, CSR, corporate social responsibility. It's very, very important that as it relates to enterprise performance management, measurement, and assurance, that there be collaboration and a cross-functional team. And always, always, always focus on material, decision, useful information. As I mentioned earlier, in the US, SASB has developed for 79 industries material, decision, useful metrics that allow for comparability across industry and within industry, and also allow an investor to gauge whether or not there's been progress using quantitative, not softer, qualitative, boilerplate type of methods. So, concluding thoughts. This wraps up the entire 8-unit course. Internal controls are good for business. They're not just a compliance thing. Good internal controls help to protect, enhance, nurture, and grow an organization's reputation. Internal controls help to prevent and mitigate the unforeseen. They help organizations to grow with confidence and integrity. Internal controls are good for business. The COSO Internal Controls Framework, first developed in 1992 and updated in 2013 to add on to the 5 components, the 17 principles, was always intended from the early 90s to apply to non-financial or sustainability data. Let's make use of that. Let's leverage it. Let's take the same successes that we've had in applying COSO to financial information to non-financial information, because it's being demanded by investors. It's being demanded by internal stakeholders. Third, sustainability data, as I alluded to, is becoming increasingly important to investors, regulators, companies, and other stakeholders. It's part of the balanced package of understanding a company's value creation capacity and capability now and well into the future. And then finally, applying the COSO internal control framework to sustainability data increases trust and confidence for both internal and external decision makers. So thank you for joining us at this Open SAP Thought Leadership course, Improving Confidence in Sustainability Data. Thank you.